Hello designers! We are going to make the cutest Frozen themed birthday invitations today in Google Slides. It's so easy. You don't need fancy software. You just need access to the internet and a Google account. You can print these yourself at home, or you can just take a screenshot and send them via text or email. It is super easy to have an awesome party invitation, even if it's last minute. Not that anybody here would wait till the last minute for their kid's birthday, right? Quick note, Frozen is copyrighted, trademarked, owned by the Disney company, so you cannot sell these invitations, but for personal use, it's totally fine. If you don't have a Google account, it's super easy to sign up and you get all these great things. So do that and meet me in Google Slides and let's get started. All right, we're in Google Slides. Hit that plus sign where it says blank. And the first thing we're gonna do is let's delete that. Let's delete these boxes. Go ahead and save this as Frozen invite. And we're going to only use one slide. So under File, let's scroll down to Page Setup. And I wanna make this custom, and I wanna do 11, by 8.5. You could probably do it either way, but so hit apply. And now we have our 8.5 by 11, so it'll be easier for it to print if you want to print at home. And the next thing we're going to do, if you watch my other videos, is I love to use a table. So we're going to insert table, and this time we're going to do 2 on top of 1. So 1 by 2. So click on that. And you can click in, I'm going to click off this themes. You can sort of click in and highlight your 2 boxes. And then I'm going to, let's see, let's go over to right here. See this format options? Click on that. This is just an easy way. This does make it feel like design software. So the width is going to be 6. We're going to do a 4 by 6 invitation, which is pretty standard for a kid's party invite, but you can always change that. So 6 by 4, don't worry about the scale, but let's lock this aspect ratio. So why does that look wrong? I'm sorry, 6 by 8, because we've got 2. There we go. Right? No, I hit the lock. I'm making a mess of things. Come back here. Let's undo this. So come over to size and rotation and let's do 6 by 8, right? Because we're going to do 4 by 6, two-sided. And then go ahead and lock the aspect ratio. And now see when I get these, my little cross right here, I know I can drag it. And I'll move it up, but we are going to come back over to format options. Let's close that and let's do position. And we're just going to do 0.25, 0.25. That's pretty standard for most printers, just to give you some space, unless you have a printer that bleeds, which most people don't. And text fitting, we don't need to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and just do 0 on the padding. It's not really that necessary for this invite, but I would just like it there. Now let's go back, select our table again, and see this little arrow right here, little gray arrow. Click on that, and up top we're going to do all sides because we're going to use these as cut lines. And then come up to my border color, and I'm just going to go 4 over. 1, 2, 3, this 4th gray. It'll be just light enough, and the default should be 1 point. And now you have nice little lines for you to cut. And then we know exactly where our 2 sides are. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start with the background of this top slide. You just want to highlight it a little bit. And let's go to the fill color. And we're going to do a gradient. And we're going to do custom. So I picked custom colors. I went in with the eyedropper and I just kind of, in a different program, and I just kind of got the colors I wanted. You can use the custom colors they have. It actually started with their custom blues, but then I just wanted to make it a little bit more fun. So for our custom gradient, we're going to do a radial gradient. And for this first color, double click, oops, you don't even need to double click on it. Highlight that and do white. And for the second color, we're going to click on this and go to custom and hit the little plus button. And I have a hex color for all of these. So 0cc5e7. 0cc5e7. Okay, and it gets us that kind of frozen turquoisey blue that I like. And I'm going to keep this like this. Okay, we're going to put a lot of stuff on top of this, so it's not that important. Now this next part I love. So we're going to go to shapes up here, and we're going to scroll all the way over on the second line to this 12. And if you highlight over it, this is a, oh my gosh, my math. Dodecahedron, I don't know. But I know it's got 12, and we're gonna just draw. This is where our text is gonna sit. And let's go back to format options. It doesn't have to be exact, but I kind of settled on about 3. I want it to be a little bit shorter because I'm gonna show you a great fun tool. Let's do 3/4. And we don't need to lock the aspect ratio for this one. Okay, let's color this real quick. So we're gonna put our text in it. So I definitely want it to be white on the inside. And for the border, let's do another custom color that's gonna pop. And let's see, for the border, we're gonna do, this is one of my favorite hex colors, and you'll see why. It's 0 and then BACCA, Baca, like Chewbacca. It's just so easy to remember. So 0 Baca. And let's do, I think we're gonna do 8 points. Let's try 8 points. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. And so now we're gonna do a couple cool things. I always wanna use my finger. Can you see this? We're gonna do a couple things under the format options. We're gonna do for, let's see, the drop shadow, we're gonna do, for now, come to color right here. I'm gonna show you a trick and pick just something really crazy like this neon green. And then we're gonna do the distance, pull it up, and we're gonna do the blur radius. And what I want is I wanna make a glow. I wanna make a glow around my box. So I have to kind of play around with how far the distance is gonna be to get that blur. And that's looking pretty good to me. Then my blur is at about 54 and my distance is about 5, but I don't want that green color. So now I'm just going to change it to white, and you just get, well, hello. I don't know why it's still, there we go. You just get that kind of fun glow. In fact, I'm going to go, let's see if we can do the distance and the blur a little bit more. Distance, blur, just to add a little something extra to our page. And now under that for reflection, this is such a cool thing. It just adds a little, little reflection that, Apple made really popular years ago, but it still looks nice, and it still adds just a little something extra. But I don't want it over here. So I'm gonna play around with the size. That looks pretty good. You can kind of see where it's coming over. And I think the distance is actually fine, and the transparency will just take it down just a little bit. Like that. So that's so fun. It has that sort of like fairy tale mirror feeling. So I like that a lot. All right, our text, the very important part to tell people what, when, and where. I think we're gonna do 4 text boxes. So let's do this first one, and we're just gonna say, let it go for, and up here, see my align, we're gonna center that. And we're gonna do, I think it's Dynalite, is that right? Now, when you Google has so many fonts, so many fonts, it's crazy. I wish they had a big book that you could explore. So when I want a font, if I know the name, I can put in the name and make sure I have it checked. And I can search for things if I want to just show all my handwriting fonts, and then I get all these script fonts that I can add and just hit OK, and it'll pull them in there. But for this one, I already know I want the Dynalite. And we're going to do 27 points on this. So let's just we're going to mix some fonts today just for some visual, and we're going to bold everything, I think. The color for this, we're going to go down to custom. And we're gonna add another color, which is 1397 AF. Also kind of easy to remember. Okay. We're just gonna do a little palette. Okay, so that's good. And you can kind of tweak it back and forth. Now we can draw another text box or we can copy and paste that. I'm gonna draw another one because I'm gonna just type in our birthday girl's name, Olivia's, and I'm gonna come back up to a line, center this. Now for this font, I tried to pick something that was kind of close to the Frozen font, and that was Playfair Display, the thickest one they have, black. And then I made her name all caps. I'm gonna do that with the next line too, so that it sort of is reminiscent of the Frozen type. And let's see, that is gonna be 31. Is that right? Yeah, it looks all right. 31 over here. And I want to do kind of a gradient. So I'm going to do darkest to lightest colors at the bottom and just give the eye kind of something visually fun. And this one we're going to do Zero Baka again. So I should already have that. You can put your little finger over there. There it is. And it will give that to you. So that was easy. Now let's just copy, Command C, Command V, copy and paste that. And we're going to do something kind of funky with this. So 5th, don't freak out right now. 5th birthday, all in caps. And let's make this whole thing, select all of that. And let's make this whole thing 22 for a second. And let's make this color, I think I have another custom color I'm going to add for this one. I do. It's going to be 0 CB 9D8. There we go. Just a little bit lighter. And for this 5, wait till you see when we place the art, this 5 is going to come into play. But obviously that doesn't look very good. And it is her 5th birthday. We should be calling this out in terms of design hierarchy, which I'll talk about in my other videos. And so let's make this 5 52 points. Boy, that sounds big. There we go. And now we can just move the reason I did 2 text box instead of doing a return is because it would have just been a lot of going into format, custom line spacing and adjusting it. And for this particular text, it was just easy to do. Two separate ones. Okay, I want to move that down. You can use your arrow keys, but sometimes the arrow keys move it a little too far for my taste. So remember, we're not locked into this size, so we can move it out a little bit and look at our little reflection moves with it. So I'm digging that. I like how Olivia just kind of sits right there, although I'm going to move her up just a little bit. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I guess I'll move you down a little bit. I do want to actually move Olivia, so I am going to just temporarily go up to arrange and order. I don't want to send it all the way to the back. I just want to send it backward one thing so I can grab Olivia and move that around with my little cross icon. Okay, just a little tick. I think that's better. Okay, our last heavy bit of text. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to hold my shift key down and select both of them and pull them both up a little bit so that we can have more space down here for the details, which are important, but not the first thing we need to see. So we're going to make them a little bit smaller. I'm just going to paste this in for right now. I just copied and pasted it rather than type it all. Obviously, you'll have to type your own details in. And let's make this, I'm going to actually add one more font. I didn't like the way the Playfair looked, so I like this Vita Loca. It's kind of a stylish serif font. And obviously this is way too big. So let's go down to 9, even though we're going to go ahead and do that design hierarchy again. And always let's center with an invitation like this for sure. And let's do our color on this. We're going to do one more custom color, and then I don't think we have to type in any more colors. So this is going to be 3 EDEFA. And that's going to be the lightest. So you see how my gradient's going down from darkest to lightest? And I think we're going to change the date. We might change the date to a different color as well. Okay, so I want to make the date and the time bigger. That's just not big enough. So let's try, I'm going to do 19, but then I'm going to do a little designer tweaking, which is, I'm going to do PM here. I'm going to do caps, but I'm going to make it smaller. So just like probably 15, almost like a small cap. And let's go ahead and bold all that. We definitely need that bolded. And I'm going to make our email, I want this to be on one line actually. So let's drag this box out a little bit. And I'm going to make the email 8. That'll still print okay. And I'm going to add, I don't want to add a space because watch what happens when I add a space. It's just going to be too much space. Well, that's not terrible, but let's go ahead and come up and go to Format, Line Spacing, Custom Spacing. And I think we'll just do like, what did I do? Like 4 maybe? Just kind of cuts it, gives a little bit of space. And then let's drag the box up so that our email sits inside our box. We've got room to move everything else up too, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. And then this is a little bit too much space for me too, but I can't reduce the space. So I am going to go back up to Format, Line Spacing, Custom Spacing, and I'm going to cut this down to, I think, let's just try 0.75. Hopefully that's not too much. No, and see, that just tightens up that a little bit. Just makes it feel like a little bit more of a unit. So I am digging that. This looks great. The type is always the hardest part to kind of get, and we might tweak it a little later after we add our graphics, but look at that. Now, the piece de resistance, right? Let's insert image. Now, I will give you the link. I found this great PNG. Let's upload it from my computer. A PNG from, let's see, Girls and Find the Interwebs. Look at that. And what's great about a PNG is that it typically has a transparent background so that when we put it over, we can see behind it. Under your format options, go to size and rotation. I'm going to flip her just like this. And this is such a great piece of art because she has, not only is it really pretty, but, and I'm going to move her, let's put her on the bottom. And I'm going to move her down just a little bit. See how the 5 hits the snowflake? Isn't that fun? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this 5th birthday party forward, but I'm going to leave Olivia there. So Olivia gets a little bit of that frozen splash on her. So let's go to Arrange, Order, Bring to Front. Ah, you guys, it's so cute. I love it. But we're not done yet because it's still looking a little plain in here, and it is frozen themed, right? So let me show you another cool trick for Google Slides. I love this, you guys. Insert image, search the web, okay? Like we don't even have to do this prior to anything. So over here, you'll get your search for images, and we're gonna look under, what did I do? I think I did like pale blue snowflake. And we want a PNG again because we want that transparency because we're going to put it over there. There it is. Oh my gosh, first one. Look at that. So I'm going to just drag that over. And obviously that's a little bigger than I would like. And I'm going to just grab this handle and size it down because we're going to do different sizes. But to start, we'll start with the biggest size first. So I'm going to do 1 here. Now I'm going to do Command C, copy, Command V, paste. Got to learn your shortcuts because it just makes designing go so much faster. And we're going to cut, this is our cut line here. So we can move a couple off the sides and stuff. I'm going to print this, put that there. And maybe I'll go over my border a little bit. That just adds so much visual interest. Like it's really snowing in our thing. And I'm going to do one big one because we have this space on top. And I sort of played around with doing a crown or some other sparkles, but it just wasn't working. So I decided on one big snowflake. Now copy and paste one and put it over here. And this time we're going to come over here with me and quit out of this. And under our format options, let's go to adjustments. And we're going to take the transparency probably to about half, I think. Yeah, half, about 50%. It doesn't have to be exact. And let's just do 3 of these sort of randomly. And here, we'll put this one down here. You just don't want them to be in alignment at all. And now copy and paste another one, but this time let's make this smaller. Drag your handle and let's do, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these. Ta-da! And remember, you have cut lines so they can go off, or if you're gonna take a screenshot, you'll just screenshot the ones you're doing. Let's do one more on this side over here, I think. Maybe over here, just like a tiny, teeny one. How cute is that, you guys? Oh my gosh, that is the front of your adorable invitation. So cute. Okay, so I like to do a backer with my invitations for 2 reasons. One, if you're printing at home, you're limited most likely to just your basic cardstock, which is nice. It's nicer than your regular paper, but it's not super thick. So the technique I like is to cut it out and use the line in the middle as a fold line, and then just use a little, you can use double-sided tape, you can use regular tape or glue or anything, whatever adhesive you prefer, just cut it together, and then you have a really nice invitation with a front and a back side that's just a little bit thicker and feels a little bit nicer. So what we're going to do for this is let's go back to insert, image, search the web, and let's just do blue snowflake because I don't want it to be white. Yes. Okay, I like this one, and I'm going to show you one more thing Google can do that's really cool. Now, I'm going to go pretty quickly through this next part because if you've watched, I have other videos on how to make a pattern in Word, but the same technique applies here. So I'm going to go quickly and show you how I do it. So I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to hold these down. You can hold your Option key down and just drag these and then select them all again. Hold your Shift down and click on them and do this. And then I want one more over here. And then I'm going to click all of these. Oh, this is such a great tool that all the programs have now. So let's go to Arrange and under Align, Middle. Remember, I will link to my pattern videos below because I have a whole more intense thing about this, but I just want to show you quickly. And you could put anything back there that you wanted. You know, you could put one giant snowflake, you could put a picture of your little kiddo, whatever you want to do. So back to Arrange. Now this time we're going to distribute. We want the boxes to do, you can see they show you a little graphic horizontally so that everything's nice, and then go back to Arrange one more time and group these. So now what I'm going to do is hold down my Option key, drag this, and let's make, lines of snowflakes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited to show you this next part. So let's put that at the bottom where we want it. And we can move that up just a hair, okay, good. Now let's select all of these again. And let's go back to Arrange, Align. We're gonna align all these center for right now. And then we're gonna go back to Distribute and do it the other way. We're gonna do vertically this time so everything's together. And then I'm gonna move these center sort of, but I'm gonna choose every other one. And then I'm going to move, hey, excuse me. I'm going to move these with my arrow key until they're like a good pattern like that. Oh, I love it. Okay, here's the fun part. You ready? So I'm going to select all of these because this looks, it's fine, but I don't think it's exactly what I want. So I'm going to come over to Recolor. No recolor. Okay, now look, now I get all of these colors that Google's like, yeah, we'll recolor that for you. And this just feels more in line with my invite. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to go back to adjustments and I'm going to make it a little softer. Just kind of play with my transparency until I have that. Ah, so cute. Oh my gosh, do you love it? I love it. Okay, I'm gonna link to this below. Just hopping in, one more quick thing. I wanted to print it out I had to make a PDF. Google and my printer were not getting along. So I made a PDF and printed from the PDF. So cute. It's weird because invitations generally, wedding invitations, event invitations are 5x7. So you think 4x6 is going to be small, but it's not. It feels very, very good. And like I said, you just cut it out, keep that for the fold line. I used an X-Acto knife, but you can use scissors. And you just need a little couple pieces of tape and you have this adorable invitation. I love it. Now that you have this technique, you can change your colors, your fonts, your graphics. You can do any theme. You can do superheroes. You can do transformers. You can do unicorns. What's really great about this way of designing invitations is that if you have a super creative and unique kid or grown up that likes something super, super specific, like maybe really random unknown Pokemon characters, you can do a tailor-made party invite just for them that you can't find anywhere else. Trust me, I've looked. Let me know what else you guys want to make and learn. Below is 101 ways to contact me and follow me. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. I'm Christy Kelly. Thank you for watching.